I know I'm late, but y'all don't understand what goes on before the debate. But it's gonna be okay. We get started, and I make sure the show is all not half-hearted. I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun show now, and everything is going to be all right. It goes down, and no clowns are coming through, no big noses or flappy shoes. But we do this thing so we never lose, and I abuse nobody. Make sure that we feel good, like on the ass titties of a hottie. But everything is gonna be okay. We play how we play, and I say, yo, today, we're gonna take it to another level. Hang around with the gods every day, never the devil. Rebels is something that we are before a specific cause. And y'all know how we go. I'm on all in. Taking away your adulthood. That's what we talk about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Taking away your adulthood. Now we talk about the pitfalls of taking away somebody's childhood all the time. We always talking about how like Michael Jackson never got a chance to be a child. I don't know. That's a debate that we can have. Because whether you believe that he didn't have a childhood or that he did, or other childhood celebrities, I think they just had a different childhood. But like I said, we can have that debate as we go along. But tonight we're talking about. Today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show on this 22nd of January, we're talking about taking away their adulthood. So can your expectations that somebody will stay forever young be so strong that you start taking away their responsibilities and inhibiting their chances to grow up, to be able to adjust to the things that all adults have to be able to adjust to in order for us to be productive, in order for us to be self-sufficient, in order for us to be okay, in order for us to be able to be productive for another day. Hey, so that's how it's going down. So sit back, relax, and chill, and everything's going to be all right. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all coming on up in here, and make sure that you share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It's going to be all right. What's going on, T. Carey Wright and Stacy White? Yo, thanks for coming through. I appreciate me some y'all. I appreciate me some you. Urban Therapy with Sun show, y'all. And that's how we doing it. That's how it's going down. Yeah. Taking away their adulthood. We're going to get deep. Y'all going to have to excuse me if my eyes look red. It's not because I'm high. My allergies are giving me all kinds of fits this morning. Ain't nothing I can do. I've been rubbing them. I stopped rubbing them an hour ago. But, you know what? I took a shower this morning instead of a bath. And when I take a shower, I already get the red eyes. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes as we, as a matter of fact, hold on. Take me a peel, son. No. Yes. No. Yes. I got the medicine. I take me a peel. Take me a peel. I blew trial and came down on a peel. Because a lot of people think that allergies are just for the warmer months, but I had mine all year round because I got this cat. I love, I love my kitty. I love my kitty. I like pets. I like animals. I like animals, but animals, my body don't like animals. So let's do that. I feel better already. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Saturday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Saturday. And it is a Saturday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R. So today we're talking about taking away their adulthood. What y'all know? Taking away their adulthood. We talk all the time about somebody having their childhood taken away from them. You ain't never let the baby be a baby. You know how when you have one child and that one child gets all the attention. That one child gets all of the presents, all of the birthday presents, all of the Christmas presents. Everything that they want, everything they need, they get doted on, they get spoiled, and they get taken care of. And sometimes those oldest children, those first children, being pushed out of the way by the other children that are on the way. So as you're building your family, the oldest child sometimes takes on the responsibility of helping raise the other siblings that come after them. And sometimes we look at it like that took away their childhood because they didn't get a chance to romp and play and rip and run and get into shit and discover and blah 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 blah, because they had to make sure that their little brothers and sisters were okay. Especially in the case where the mom and dad may have been on drugs, or they may have been absent, or maybe, God forbid, they lost a parent or something like that, where the older sibling really had to look out for the children that came after him or her. So it can be a tight situation. It really can. And sometimes we say that because they had to take on the responsibilities of an adult, and they were around adults longer than the other smaller children were, and they heard adult conversations, and they had to do things that other adults did. Maybe they had to go to work. Maybe they had to go to work earlier than their peers did in order to help support the family. We took away their childhood. We hear about it all the time, especially when we hear about people saying things like they had to raise themselves. Like, hey, my mom and my dad wasn't there to raise me. I had to raise myself. I had these streets raised me. I had to do what I had to do out here. I had to do what I had to do out here. We hear about it all the time. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, ma? Good to see me, some of you. Thanks for coming on by. Thanks for coming on through. But yeah. But what happens when the opposite happens, and instead of taking away someone's childhood, we take away their adulthood? In other words, we don't allow them to grow up. We love babies. We love children. We love the little kids, the innocence of the youth. Some of us do all kinds of things in order to make sure that our kids get the full experience of their child experience. But some of us never let go. Some of us see children as being children for way longer than they need to be. And sometimes that can be a little detrimental because it can take away their ability to be able to defend themselves and be productive and be progressive and be able to navigate themselves through life as full-grown adults who have had to put their childhood toys away. But sometimes, just like when our children are our children, we remember when they were inside of the women of our mother's bellies. We remember when they were first born. We remember the first steps that they took, the first time they spoke, the first things that they learned. And sometimes we don't want to see them get any farther than that. But how deep can it go? How bad can it get to the point where we are monitoring them to make sure that they never really get the adult experience that they should have? And who is it benefiting? When you don't allow somebody to become an adult, who is it helping? Now, some You know that we know some people who don't ever want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, that type shit. But when we talk about being an adult, what we're talking about most of all is taking care of our responsibilities. A lot of us look at adulthood as doing nothing but paying bills for the rest of our lives, having to avoid trouble and responsibility for the rest of our lives. All we gonna do is struggle. All we gonna do is pay bills. All we gonna do is have to make the money and keep roofs over heads and shoes on feet and coats on backs and all that kind of stuff. For a lot of us, being an adult has nothing but negative connotations to it. There's nothing but struggle when it comes to being an adult. And it's kind of justified in some examples, you have to admit. I know probably all of us right now have a gas bill, electric bill, a rent bill, some bill out there right now that we like, all right, now do I take this whole check and pay that shit, or do I break it down and save some, pay a little bit with this check, put some away from this check, put a little bit more with the next check, or do I save, or do I don't pay none of it with either of these checks and wait for my taxes to come back? So I probably all of us are doing something like that right now. Like, damn, the first of the month be coming fast as shit. All right, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that. It seemed like I just paid that shit. Matter of fact, did I just forget that? Does a signal ever go off in your head where you know that you're late paying a bill somewhere, and it's a bill that's going to cost you, like, let's say you're trying to build up your credit score, and you're like, yo, I can't be late on no bills right now because. Did I pay Citibank? Did I pay Citibank? Oh, shit. Damn it. All of us are probably having that experience on some level. On some level, we probably, experience that in some way relating to adulthood. Because as adults, we have to pay the bills for everything. We have to foot the bill. So what happens when people take away our ability to ever be able to foot the bill for things because they pay everything for us? They made the road really smooth for us. They basically took away our ability to be responsible, or they just were so responsible for us that they just never gave us a chance, or they didn't believe in us. They didn't believe that we had the tools or the skills to pay the bills. They never believed in our skills to go out, get a job, be responsible, put our money away, and just, act like responsible adults. We just never got a chance to do it. Who y'all know? What y'all know? Some parents are doing that right now. I think it's interesting. When I was growing up, all of I ain't gonna say everybody, but for the most part, most of my peers were getting jobs, after school jobs, fast food, whatever. Some of them worked at law offices, filing and doing secretary type shit. But many of us were really trying to make our own money because we wanted stuff. Designer jeans, acid wash, stone wash jeans wasn't cheap. And the jackets sure weren't cheap. So we wanted some acid wash, some stone wash, some this, that, and the third, or whatever. We had to work. Our parents weren't always buying us the kind of stuff that we wanted on the level that we wanted to have it. So we had to get out there and do it for ourselves. And that fast food money was serving us well. And not only that, but because we were obligated to go to work, show up at work, and work when we got there, just like we were in school, it taught us a lot of responsibilities. So I'm saying all of that to say that nowadays, a lot of our modern parents today don't want our children to work. They don't want their children to work. They don't want children to work. I think that's so strange. Because what is more empowering to a teenager than making their own money? Man, you gonna be feeling yourself like crazy. Like, this my money. You see these Jordans on my feet? These my sneakers. These kicks is mine. I paid for them with my money. Yeah, I'm a sneakerhead because I can afford to be a sneakerhead. I sell my sneakers on the internet, get money. Shoot, to the point where some of these teenagers be feeling so empowered when they make their own money, past and present, that all of a sudden they start talking about they raised themselves. Don't nobody take care of me. I take care of me. Motherfucker, you make $185 a week. I don't know who you think you taking care of with that, making that kind of money. But that sure ain't paying the rent or the mortgage or the or nothing in this place. That little room you got with the 45-inch big flat screen TV, it wouldn't even pay for that room if you was paying for it by yourself, for yourself. Today's adults, these parents of today, are saying that they don't want their children to work. They don't want them to have to work. They're going to do nothing but work for the rest of their lives once they finish school. So I want them to just concentrate on school. Well, after school comes very fast in life. That's one thing we have to wake up to the reality of, or that we are woken up to the reality of very, very, very quickly as soon as we get out of high school. After school comes very fast. After high school comes like this, right after graduation. You either going to college, army, or you working for the rest of your life. There's no way to get out of that. But are you prepared for that? Now, you ain't never worked a day in your life. You ain't never had a boss over you who was like, listen, I need you to do it this way. And if you don't do it, then I'm going to have to fire you. I'm going to have to let you go. If you've never had that experience, or you've never raised your children that way, then they're not going to be ready. They ain't going to be ready. They're going to be extra sensitive, and they're going to be extra entitled because you've been giving them everything instead of having them work for anything that they have ever gotten. So are we taking away their adulthood? We know what it's like to take away a child's childhood, but are we taking away their adulthood? Are we taking away certain people's ability to be an adult, to be able to think independently, to be able to save their money, to be able to pay, to prioritize their responsibilities? Do we do it sometimes? Does our love for some people that we know, does that make us start treating them in a way that is really damaging to them somewhere down the line? That's what we're talking about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. What's going on, Rita Reds? Rita, what's going on, Rita? Good to see me, some of you. And my big sis, Robbie Robin Ming, doing a thing. She's something like a queen for a king. What's up, man? Taking away your adulthood. Anybody in here ever have their adulthood taken away from them? Is there a mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a big brother or sister that expects you to be a child for the rest of your life, and they've been treating you like that? So it might be a situation where when it's convenient for you, then it's all good. Like, yeah, shit, I ain't got to pay for this. I ain't got to do this, that, and the third, and all of that. But when it's inconvenient for you, then you want to rebel. Like, I'm grown too. I ain't no little kid. You can't stop me from going here, stop me from doing this, stop me from being with this person, that person. When money comes into it, That's when we really start having that conversation about what an adult is and what an adult ain't. Taking away their adulthood. Bianca Brown, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. When we start talking about money, that's when we start having that adult conversation. Because what a lot of people say, you ain't really an adult till you start paying some bills. Is that all what being an adult is all about? Shoot. What we even when we defending ourselves against haters, what we be like, y'all ain't paying none of my bills. That's what females be saying all the time. They ain't paying none of my bills. No, shorty told me. I tried to give her some advice. She was like, you ain't paying none of my bills. Omar, you ain't paying none of my bills. I said, how much is your Netflix? Because I got that this month. And now you gonna fucking listen, ho. Pay that fucking Netflix. And now I got the floor. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Shit, paying bills, baby. You know, since you know, I can't be heard unless I'm paying some bills. Give me that Netflix. You got Hulu? Shit. I throw $15 up in the Cash App quick. With the quickness. It's nothing. But yeah. But seriously. When we start bringing money into the conversation, that's when we're really talking about what an adult is and what an adult isn't. So if you don't allow somebody to pay for anything, to be financially responsible for anything, because being financially responsible, one of the reasons that we really measure our adulthood on finances is because when you are financially responsible for something, we know that is the ability to have something taken away from you if you do not pay for it. There ain't no other conversation. When it comes to your children, yeah, we know about teenagers having children young, you know, babies having babies, all that old good shit that's been going on since forever. But your children are your children, whether you foot the bill for their expenses or not. But your car, oh no, your car can be taken away from you. You don't pay for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're providing for the bank. You're providing for a financial institution that is regulating whether you take ownership of that or not. Mm-hmm. That house, that apartment, where you keep your chairs, tables, and beds at. Yeah, your landlord, your mortgage company has a lot to say about your ability to do that or not. So if somebody pays your rent, you ain't never paid rent a day in your life. You know how tough it is to start paying rent when you ain't never had to do it? That shit ain't easy. I'm gonna show you how hard it is. I'll give y'all an example that I know a whole boatload of y'all will be able to relate to. Remember, TK, right? Talking about some. Can you pay her telephone bill? Can you pay her automobile? Shout out to Destiny's Child. Nah, never mind. Don't shout him out. All right, Robbie Ming says that's only spoiling your kids, taking care of them. When my girl was in school, I signed them up for summer jobs so they could know responsibility once they was grown. Yeah, that's what we did with our kids back in the day. That's what we did. Everybody was getting a job. Shit, when I was 11, 12 years old, my mom was already going around the little corner stores. Like, listen, little man over here, you know, he can lift something. He got a lot of energy. Lift boxes. He can bring in bottles, crates, and stuff like that. He could probably be taught to make sandwiches. He know how to cook a little bit. Yeah. Letting you, he can do this. I just swore I was about to get paid. I never got hired. You know, a lot of those stores. My mom was pretty. You know, a big butt and a smile. That, you know, that I didn't really realize my mom was good looking. You know, sometimes you don't see it. You know, you don't see it. Yeah, like she all right. She all right. But the men was looking like, oh yeah, Big Mama Rosie. yeah. We give your son a job. We give your son a job. You want to work here too, Rose? So soon as the conversation was over, they was like, yeah, little man, come around here. Yeah, come around here on Tuesday. Come see me. And the store would be closed on Tuesday. Real shit. Real shit. I'm like, the store closed on a Tuesday. He was on his way out of business. He retirement age and all of that. You know, my mom out there looking for opportunities. The bottom line is she was trying to make it happen for me out there. She was trying to make it happen for me out there. You know, she knew like the little nigga like shit. He likes skateboards. He like electronic devices. He like them little handheld video games, football, basketball, that kind of shit. So TK Wright says, my grandmother who raised me tried to hold on to my paychecks and vital records. When I was 18, I stopped all of that. You need those tools. You need them to market yourself, to verify yourself, to be taking away the adulthood. You will always be my baby. Do-do-do, da. Do-do-do, da-do-do-da. Do-do-do, da. Do-do-do, da-do-do-da. I don't want you to leave, but I won't beg you to stay. I will not stand in your way, but inevitably. Okay. Anyway. But the example that I was about to give a few minutes ago was: remember when cell phone plans first came out? When cell phones came out in the 90s, them shits was expensive. You was paying by the minute. 15 cents a minute, 25 cents a minute. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't sweet. And then when they came out with digital phones, when it went from cellular to wireless, remember they tried to get us to start calling them wireless phones instead of cell phones. There wasn't nobody going for that shit. But when they came out with the wireless plans had like 1,000 minutes, per month, and we was like 1,000 minutes. Oh wow, I'm gonna be able to use my cell phone a lot. Free nights and weekends, shit like that. All I have to do is wait until 9 o'clock, and then all my minutes are free. 9 o'clock. Shoot, I ain't gotta talk during the day. I got a home phone. I got a home phone, plus I got a phone at the job. I'm good. You wasn't good. You was using those anytime minutes like crazy, and you was running that bill up, and everybody didn't have AT&T, which was singular before then, which was, I think it was Comcast Spectraphone, or hold on, what was it? Cellular One, whatever it was before it was singular. They was beating your ass with them cell phone plans. So because you probably never paid your phone bill at home, you was taking advantage of the home phone that your parents was paying for at home. When it was time for you to pay that cell phone bill, you thought it was sweet because it was, let's say the plan was, I don't know, the plans was kind of high. Let's say it was supposed to be $100 $100 a month. Let's just say that. You got 500 anytime minutes. No, let's say 600 anytime minutes, because I remember this specific plan. 600 anytime minutes, free nights and weekends. And you realize how fast you ate up 600 minutes, because 600 minutes sound like a lot of minutes. But when you break it down, it's about 10 hours. And you and your man, or you and your girl, and you and your side, and you and your friend, y'all be busting it up. You're not counting those minutes in your head, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you up to 1,000 minutes. And you used to get that long ass cell phone statement, and you see in every call you made. So as you deny, I know damn well that this bill should not be this high because I don't even be talking like that. I don't be talking. I don't be talking like that. And you remember how, it was almost 9:00 when you would make those calls. So you start talking like about 8:30, and you figured that it would go right into the 9:00 and stop, and it didn't. You realized that the plan didn't work that way. You had to actually hang up at 9:00 and then call back so it would be free. Other than that, it just kept counting. Yeah, that type shit. Yeah, that, so it was really hard for you to pay attention and keep up with that bill. So you was losing cell phones left and right. One plan here, another plan there. Even your mom's or your mom and dad's home phone at the crib, calling 1-800 numbers and shit. Remember those celebrities used to have 1-900 numbers? You remember them shits? You calling Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince on a 1-900 number, running your bill up high as fuck. $1,000 phone bill. $1,000 phone bill. I just talked to Run DMC for an hour. Cheryl says, nice song. Get it together, Omar. We'll be looking for those lyrics for you. That's what's up. It's one of my favorite songs, too. It's just escaping me right now. I'm going to get it together, though. You know what I mean? I'm a little sleep deprived, but I'll be all right. But yeah, so that was one of our first adult responsibilities, getting that cell phone. And many of us failed that test. We failed it. So if you couldn't pass that test, if you couldn't pass the test, goddamn cell phone, paying rent, that was going to be devastating for you. Having to come up with $700, $1,000 a month. And you might not have even been able to pay that with one check. You don't never spend a G. I know how it be. Yeah. I totally understand. I get it. I get it. So when somebody has been paying those bills for you, so you never had to worry about saving minutes because somebody was there paying for those cell phone bills for you. Maybe you never even had bills in your name. Somebody was always looking out. You had sugar daddies, you had drug dealer boyfriends, you had people who would finance your mission. You had grandparents and parents that loved you. Extended family members that would come through and shower you with the good shit. So you never got a chance to be out there and see what the real struggle of being an adult was about. And don't get me wrong, once again, I don't like the suggestion that being an adult is all about or strictly about paying bills and struggling and financial responsibilities and hardships and all of that, because there are great things about being an adult that we don't take notice of anymore, because sometimes the financial obligations have soured all of the fun. See, before we had to deal with these financial obligations, um we looked at being an adult as being able to stay out all night, being able to have sex when you wanted to, being able to party, being able to drink, being able to get high, being able to smoke, being able to go and come as you please without having to answer to anybody. We looked at all of the positives when things were taken away from us. Soon as we were in the driver's seat and we realized, like, yeah, you can do all of these things, but guess what? There's a price attached to every motion, everything that you do. So just know that for the rest of your life is pay to play, but you can play. It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Think it won't. Okay. My bad, y'all. I noticed the mistake that I made online. I noticed the mistake that I made online. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, yeah, when somebody has paid all your bills and you're not prepared to have to save your money, to have to organize your time and your finances, and when you have to plan your life out, especially when you start having children and it's bigger than just you. Now, yeah, maybe you could live a pillow to post or be fed hand to mouth and all of that. Now you got children where their well-being is your direct responsibility. Well, there have been some people who had children when they was like 14, 15, 16, and their parents still didn't let their ass grow up. Some people had children just so they could get out of the house. Y'all don't know nobody like that? I got some phone numbers for y'all. Real shit. My man Ja Biggs. What up, Ja? How you feeling, my man? My mellow. How many of y'all know somebody who has admitted that they got pregnant? Because it was always, they're all women that I know. Dudes, they got chicks pregnant because they was horny. But a lot of girls that I knew growing up, they I said growing up, my bad. Growing up, they told me that, yeah, I had a baby just so I could get out of the house. My mom, my dad, whatever, they was real strict. I couldn't do nothing. So even though I felt like I was gonna get my ass kicked, I felt like they would kick my ass out of the house, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. So I had a baby, and I still had to be home by 9:00. Me and the baby. But what often happened was, okay, yeah, you had a baby. Yes, you got pregnant. We so disappointed. We gonna take care of you and the baby. And guess what? You still taking your ass to college. And we gonna get you this car. And you ain't gonna be able to drive this car anywhere all willy-nilly. You're gonna take your ass to school and go ahead and you go and we still gonna clock your grades. So yeah, we'll take care of the baby and we'll take care of you. Yeah, so your baby is really just our last child. I've seen it happen plenty of times, and you ain't gonna tell me I'm the only one, because I'm from the hood, and I know a lot of y'all are too. So even for a child that was trying to make a power play to adulthood, you still said, nope. I ain't kicking you out of this fucking house. Yeah, we mad at you. But if I kick you out of the house, I won't be able to whoop your ass for being bad. You ain't grown just because you had a baby. We just got another baby. You 15 years older than your baby. You a mother sister. You a sister mom. So, taking away. And shout out to the moms. Shout out to the moms, the single mothers who were the teenage mom of other single mothers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes, shout out to the 30, 31, 32-year-old grandma. It is what it is. But she told her baby, yeah, I mean, the last thing I wanted was for my child to become a mother as a teen like I did. But, you know, your little fast ass went out there and did what you did. So, okay. But what you going to do is you going to march your ass down to the WIC office. Go down there, get your WIC, get whatever services, get your food stamp, whatever you got to do. You get all of that shit. But see, that's part of being an adult. So shout out to the ones who let their kids say, all right, you want to be an adult? Well, having a child is the fastest way to it. Shout out to y'all. But other parents was like, no, ain't gonna be no WIC. Ain't gonna be no WIC, ain't gonna be no food stamps, ain't gonna be none of that. I'm gonna just work some extra hours at the job, work some extra hours at the job. You still going to community college, man. Matter of fact, you ain't going to community college. I'm gonna enroll your ass at Temple or at Penn State, and you can go local, whatever, Or either that, you might even be able to go away to school. We take care of the baby. You go take care of the baby when you get home on these breaks, whatever. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna hold it down. We're gonna put off this adulthood thing for as long as possible. I don't care what mistakes you make. What y'all know? If you would like to call into the show and express what you know about this, I invite y'all to call in. The number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby, on. 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 Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak, and then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on it, do the damn, do the damn thing. Urban Therapy with Sun Show, baby. Taking away your adulthood. Okay, what we got? Okay. What the hell? Stacey White says, I was paying rent at 12 years old. How you do? Wait, hold up. C. Carey Wright says, laughing my ass off at Run DMC. You remember the 1-900 numbers? The 1-900 numbers was killing the game, boy. That was the $1,000 phone bill. Yo, it was a murder. It was a murder. 1988, 1989. It was bad. It was bad. Them 1-900 numbers was they was hurting the game badly. Okay. Robbie Mink says, I never really wanted a cell phone or pager, but my daughters just wanted to keep up with me. So I threw the phone in the top of the closet and forgot about it. Okay. TK Wright says, Cheryl, she did chill after that. I was very independent. Okay. All right. Even though I just realized that you have been singing this. Okay. All right. Shirley Cheryl says, I know a few guys who got a female pregnant just to have someone to take care of. One got his own spot for the girl and the baby. One had his parents offer an abortion. She didn't get it, and it's more. No, I'm talking about the motivation. Like boys they don't have to get nobody pregnant to get out of the house. It's very easy for a boy to get out of the house. They don't have the same restrictions as girls have. Like girls have to stay in. They have to take care of other kids. They have to wash dishes. They got to cook, clean, shit like that. You know, um, raise their younger siblings, things like that. So a lot of times they wanna have their own baby just to get out of the crib. Like, so you had a baby so you could go to dancing skates, party Sunday, no school Monday? And the answer is fucking yeah. Yeah, I want to party Sunday, no school Monday. I want to go to dances and party Sunday, no school Monday. Dancing skates. The skate you I don't know if y'all listen, sure, you might some close. Yeah, I mean. Dancing skates. It used to be on Stanton Avenue. On Stanton Avenue between Washington Lane and dancing skates. It was a skating rink. And they used to have rappers coming through. I remember I saw Salt and Pepper there on a Friday night. It's pretty cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of my peers, they couldn't go. They was tired of hearing about that shit on Monday. Yeah, man, we was at USA Skates. We was at USA. We was at skating. We was at skating. We was at skating on yesterday, or yesterday would have been like Sunday or Saturday, whatever. They got tired of hearing about that shit on Monday, and they wanted to go and they couldn't go. Well, when you gonna go skating with us? Or when you gonna go to the party with us? House parties and shit like that. Couldn't go. I have a baby. I'll be able to go. I don't understand the logic, but yeah, they figured, well, that's my ticket to adulthood. How you gonna tell me that I can raise a baby of my own, but I can't go out, I can't stay out past 11 o'clock easily? Now you ain't even going out because you're gonna raise the baby and I'm gonna raise both of y'all. So you gonna take care of your baby and feed the baby and change the baby, but I'm gonna finance both of those missions. So I'm gonna buy the Pampers, you gonna change the Pampers because that's your baby. You're right, that is your baby. That's your baby. And it'll always be your baby. Do-do-do, da. Do-do-do, do-do, da-da. Okay. Yeah, boys. Shoot. All the dudes I know that got girls pregnant when they was young, whether they was 14, 15, whatever, they was doing, they didn't know how to, they pull out game was fucking sick. And I don't mean sick in a good way. There was no pull out game. There was no pull out game. It was the leave in game. Don't leave it in. Yeah, they ain't no pull out game. They was young. They ain't really realize that you had to pull out. I knew a dude who had two children by age 15. And no, they wasn't twins. And no, he wasn't in high school yet. Yeah, bust that. Two children, 8th grade. What you know? This dude was my nemesis too. I did not like this motherfucker. And when I see him to this day, it's like, what's up now? He was the oldest kid in the class. 15 in 8th grade? We ain't know nothing about that. Yeah, but he had 2 kids. Like, we all looked at him like, he the only one in middle school. And his mom worked at the yo, this shit was crazy. His mom worked at the school. How do you explain your child has two children, age 15 in the 8th grade, and he wasn't even good in school? Yeah. Yeah. Bust that. Shirley Show says, I used to go all the time with my sister and watch everybody else skate. Let me find out you skatily challenged. TK right says, the misconception is that adulthood equals struggle, but to me, it's all about your mindset and your response to priorities. Okay. Sure Husband says the game was get yours, keep it moving, watch out for the shotgun, dad, and deny everything. That's for those who had a father in the home to care about a shotgun. You know what I mean? Shout out to the father that was too drunk or too high to even think about the shotgun. or the moms that wouldn't allow a gun in the house. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all y'all. Yeah. Taking away your adulthood. I don't want to see my baby grow up. To me, you're going to always be my baby. You're going to always be my baby. I'll never see you. I'll never really be able to see you as an adult. And some people, I mean, maybe it's just that innocence of youth. That innocence of youth that some people just can't let go of. On some levels, it's understandable. But it can be harmful to us. It can be harmful to the person who is not allowed to grow up. Because growing up, the root word is grow. You gotta grow physically. Your cells are gonna grow regardless. They're gonna die off and regenerate. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't stop that at all. There's nothing anyone can do to stop that. The cycle of life goes on with you or without you. Stacey White says, I love being an adult. Some people don't like being an adult. I love adulthood. I'm going to say I like being an adult too. Because what I didn't like restrictions as a child. I love being young. I really love being young. I wish I could be young forever. But not young to the point where I'm not able to come and go as I please, do what I want, think on a level that's independent and progressive. One thing I hated about being a teenager, I hated the peer pressure. I hated the limitations of your mindset, your mindset, the narrow thinking that we all gotta look like this, we all gotta talk like this, we all gotta act like this, we all gotta be like, no, the fuck we don't. No, I didn't accept that when I was a teenager. I don't accept it now. Like, y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna do this other shit. If y'all do some shit that I like, I'll do it too. But I might not keep doing it. And I'm gonna always explore my own shit. I'm not trying to just fit in with y'all. And that's a lot of what being a child was about. So when you stop somebody from being an adult, you kind of keep them in that box. You do what everybody else does. You wear the clothes that everybody else wears. You drive the kind of cars. You have the kind of values. You watch the type of movies, read the kind of books, think the same kind of. No, that is child shit. And when you try to keep somebody in that box, you are taking away their ability to become an adult. You are snatching away, taking away, robbing away their adulthood. And we may not look at it that way because we don't know any better. We're not fully developed adults ourselves in many ways. But dag, in those little fundamental ways, you would think that we have moved on. No, you see a lot of adult peer pressure out here. We've done shows about it. Adult peer pressure. You know, adult peer pressure. It's a thing. It's a thing. So when you, well, let me ask y'all this. What the hell? Let me ask y'all this. Do you think when people want someone to be a child, or when they still try to treat them as a child when they are adults, do you think that's about control on some level? And what is the control for? What is the control about? What are we achieving when we stop a person from growing up? Like, because if we have to pay for everything, if we believe that being an adult has a lot to do with financial obligations, if we have to pay for everything, how is that benefiting us? Is it that we feel like since we're paying for everything, then we can tell you everything to do? We can control your every move. Well, I pay for this house, so this is what you can do and can't do in this house. I pay for your car, so this is where you can go and can't go with this car. It may have something to do with that, straight up and down. But I want to know, what y'all know. What y'all think about this? What y'all got for me? What y'all got? Stacey White says, peer pressure. Why don't I have a baby yet? I don't know. Did all your girlfriends growing up, did they have babies young? I knew people who had babies as teenagers, but it wasn't all of us. That's for sure. It wasn't all of us. Adult peer pressure. I think there's more pressure to have children when you're an adult than when you're a child. We know that having children when you are a teenager is a crapshoot, because the direction of where your life is going to go is very fuzzy. There's a lot going on in there. You know what I mean? Some people would even say that your life is over. You was about to have this volleyball scholarship, and now you done fucked it up. You had a free ride. You had a free ride. You had a free ride. You free ride. You had a free ride. A free ride. You had a free ride. Free ride. You had a free ride. Free ride. You had a free ride. Free ride. Shirley Show says, there are so many reasons. Don't let me sing the song. Stacey White says, no. That's what they say to me because I don't have children. Even when they know about my health, I look at them real sideways. Oh, yeah, I can dig it. I could do it. You know. But Stacey, I'm sure you're aware that there are plenty of people who doctors may have advised not to have children. They still had children anyway. You know, it be like that. It be like that. Like in the case of people who have sickle cell, they are strongly women who have sickle cell anemia. They are strongly advised not to have children because their body really just can't take it. Some still do it, and unfortunately, a lot of times it doesn't work out too well in the end. Taking away their adulthood. Taking away their adulthood. Yeah. I can understand your parents or your grandparents not really being able to look at you as an adult because they remember everything about you when you was so young. You was just so young. And now them having to accept you as a full grown adult, a full-fledged man or woman. It might be hard. But what do you do in that difficulty? Do you keep creating situations where they don't have to take care of themselves, or where when it really gets bad? It really gets bad when the people who have been stopped from becoming adults have children of their own, and now they have nothing to be able to give to their children because they're still babies themselves. So, paying child support or being there emotionally or sometimes even physically for their children, it's out of their realm of understanding. So how crazy is it when you had a child when you were 16, 17 years old and you had the child so you could get out of the house, but now since that didn't work, now you don't really know how to take care of your own child. You really wanted to have a baby so you could be able to go to a party. And now going to a party is all you want to do. Your baby is always at Nana crib, always at Big Mama crib, always at my mom crib, always at Granny crib, always at Gigi crib. Always. Meanwhile, you out partying, getting high, and making another baby. Is that a result of somebody taking away your childhood? I mean, I'm sorry. Is that a result of somebody taking away your adulthood? So you out here just spoiled and entitled and don't know what the fuck to do with yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You have not a clue. Because somebody was always stepping in, making sure that you bear no responsibility for your actions. You bear no responsibility for your actions. How is it that you can do no wrong? Now in your adult life, you expect everybody to absolve you of your responsibilities, and nobody's willing to do it. They're like, not going to happen. You did it. You take care of it. Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Cheryl Hudson says, blah 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 blah, a mumble mumble mumble, gibbery 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 gibbery. Psych. She says parents sometimes don't want to let go because they feel lonely. They might not think their child is ready. They live they love taking care of them and don't want them to be an adult. Yeah. Empty nest syndrome. There's some parents who had children and they've never been alone. You grew up in a house, maybe you always had to share a room. Some people have had to not only share a room but never have slept by themselves. They shared a room, shared a bed, shared clothes, shared everything. They don't know what it's like not to share something. They don't know what it's like to have anything of their own. So maybe one day when you finally get something on your own, but you don't know how to have something or work something all by yourself. It's not in your repertoire. So being by yourself, living by yourself is totally out of the question. Only lonely people live all by themselves. So what am I going to do when these kids are all out of the house? And here I am, I'm scared of the dark. That's why I had a TV on all night, because I'm scared of the dark. I need the sound on the TV. So at night, when it's bedtime, I just turn it down a little low. Turn that a little low. But the TV is on all night. We need the night light. I'm scared of the dark, and all my kids scared of the dark. And when they go to college, like, fuck that. They ain't going to. All right, they can go to community or they can go to one of the local universities. Shit. I mean, they don't have no better schools than the ones they have in Philadelphia. What's wrong with going to school in Philadelphia? That way you won't have to pay out-of-state tuition. Or they can go to University of Pittsburgh. That's not out-of-state tuition. Yeah, it's too far, though. And they crazy over there in Pittsburgh. They got gangs. You think I'm going to subject my baby to gangs? No Pitt, no IUP, no Millersville, no Shippensburg, no what is it? Haven, something Haven. Not none of that. Not none of that. No Lincoln, no Cheney, no Dell State, no none of that. T. Carey Wright says, our children are their own people. We have to give them grow. Let's substitute give with let. We have to let them grow while still letting them know that you're in support of them, of their growth and their transition into adulthood. Okay. Robbie Ming says, I don't mind helping my kids, but I am not taking care of them. You already took care of. What you mean you ain't taking care of them? Sure, as it says, you play. I'm just saying. Stacey White says, I put the sleep timer on. Yeah. See, I'm not scared of the dark. I like it dark, pitch black. I like the hotel curtains on my shit. I want it pitch black when I go to sleep. But I know y'all scary ass girls. I'll be like, no, just leave the TV on. Like I was watching that. You was watching what? What we was watching? I was watching that. Man, turn that bullshit off. Now, Omar, I was watching that. I was watching that. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Man. But yeah. Taking away their adulthood, man. Taking away their adulthood. Let them be grown. Trust me. You let somebody be grown, they'll come back and try to be a kid somewhere along the line. They'll come back and renew their youth somewhere. But before we get out of here, let me ask y'all something. This is 1:00. We gotta get on about it. Um, you know how we talk about certain celebrities that grew up on TV or in show business or whatever, like Michael Jackson, uh, Gary Coleman, maybe Kim Fields, maybe Janet Jackson, maybe a whole Ty Bridges, and a whole lot of uh, child celebrities, child TV stars, and children celebrities that grew up in Hollywood, and we say that they never had a chance to be children. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? In the case of Michael Jackson, a lot of people say that he never had a chance to be a child, which is why he always tried to embrace his youth. You know, the whole Peter Pan thing. I don't accept that Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood. I know Michael Jackson had a childhood that most of us would die to have had. Even the shyest person would love to not be shy the way he was, and to be able to dance on them stages and travel the world, and you know, even if you don't want that much fame, we would take 1/10 of it just for the money, the access. So it's, in my opinion, people like Michael Jackson, people like Gary Coleman had an extreme childhood, an extraordinary childhood. It's just they may have been cheated out of a conventional childhood, but shit, I don't know how many of them would have killed to have been in your spot, but I sure would have liked to have tasted a little bit of what they had. What? You know, you and I must make a pact. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there. So yeah, there was some abuse, but in regular childhoods, there's abuse. What there wasn't in a lot of conventional childhoods is that level of adoration, worldwide fame, adoration. Yeah, the business part is the business part. But it seems to me that having a deal in the business part of show business may even overly prepare you for the responsibilities that adulthood may bring. All right, we have a call on the line. I'm going to take the caller, and then we're going to be up out of here. All right, caller with the I'm sorry, caller with the with unknown number. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Thank you. First, I'm glad to see that Michael Jackson's still alive, Michael. I'll get my autograph later. Thank you. Yeah, that was good, brother. So I think that children become adults, obviously. The damage that young children experience, whether it's sexual, emotional, physical trauma, etc., often impacts them for the rest of their lives. Even Michael Jackson, if we look at his success, also look at the damage and him ending up dying at a very young age. So even with his, maybe he was worth 100 million when he died. I don't know if it's worth it to have that type of pain and trauma to be on top of the world, but yet to be so unhappy. And we see this often with very successful Black or Pan African people where they're on top, but they fall apart somewhere along the way because of either childhood trauma from parents or maybe a religious circle or just from the white supremacist system, which is so why it's so important to make sure that young children from birth to at least age 10 have a very nurturing school, even if it's homeschool, and nurturing leaders from other um, circles, religious circle. White Jesus is not the best look for black kids. The financial circle, the banks nearby. So in other words, if we fail the children when they're young, very often it's very hard to catch up. If you're running a race, any of you that know how to run, if you run in the 100 meters and somebody trips you up 3 times, you're probably done. You may have a chance at the 400. So, I think damaged children become damaged adults. And they have to work on it sometimes for a lifetime.
First of all, I appreciate your perspective on this whole topic. When it comes to one of the reasons that I bring up Michael Jackson is because, just like I was saying, people say that he didn't have a childhood, and some of the examples that you brought up as far as you said that he died very young. He didn't die very young. He was 51 years old. He wasn't very young, but he was young. In terms of when we think that the cycle of life should end, but it wasn't like he died in his 20s or something like that. But Michael Jackson was a very troubled youth and a very troubled adult. But I don't think that his experience, as far as his emotional trauma, is any different than anyone else who had not grown up in showbiz. People commit suicide every day. People take antidepressant medication every day. People deal with it and don't seek any type of professional help every day. And it has more to do with their personal experiences growing up in their family lives and in whatever culture that they grew up in, whatever. So but the visibility of somebody in show business gives us a greater insight to what we think may have been the problem with them, because they're on that world stage. But if you take the world stage away and you take the perspective away from the world stage, do we think that had because I think that their father, Joe Jackson, I think Joe Jackson was going to be Joe Jackson whether the Jackson 5 had ever been the Jackson 5. So can you imagine what Michael Jackson would have been like without the stage and the microphone? Can you imagine? Can you imagine having to be in that family home in Gary, Indiana, chasing around a rat to be a friend? It was gonna be ugly. Showbiz might have saved Michael's life. You know what I mean?
He'll be looking for Ben still.
Listen,
are you there?
That's what I'm talking about. You chasing around a rat. You listen.
Yeah, that's low. How low can you go?
I'm saying. So he already had some things brewing in him. Who knows how it would have played out had he not had showbiz to be able to express himself, because through showbiz he was able to get trainers and coaches and therapists and whatever he wanted. He could afford that, and it would be suggested to him and things like that. The man was extremely intelligent. He was a shrewd businessman, made a lot of I'm not going to say enemies, but let's just say he changed a lot of people's opinions of him through his business dealings, particularly people like Paul McCartney and other people. But but yeah, it's hard to say what somebody would have been had they not done this, that, and the third. But to suggest that a child didn't have a childhood because they were involved in show business, I don't think that that's any different than saying that a child didn't have a childhood because he had 6 or 7 brothers and sisters that he had to help raise and change and take to school and clothe and feed and help out and defend and things like that. Things that maybe an older adult should have stepped in and done, but maybe they weren't there. So maybe a single parent trying to raise a bunch of children, biological and non-biological, or sometimes mixed, may have had that same struggle, and maybe they should have been there to help out, but they didn't. They may not have gotten the help that they needed either. So everybody had to kind of pitch in. I don't know if that takes away from your childhood, but I think that it gives you more stories to tell about your childhood. You know, if being an adult is more than just paying bills and taking care of financial responsibilities, is and having sex, that then being a child has to be more than just Saturday morning cartoons and playing with toys. It has to be. It has to be bigger than recess. Shoot, I remember as a child myself, I had thoughts and feelings about things that didn't feel very childlike. Maybe they were childlike in the way that I processed them because I didn't have the ability to not think as a child when I was a child. But I had I'm not really in a position to say that I wouldn't trade my childhood for anybody else. Yeah, I sure would. There's some things I would change. There were some things I would trade. There were some things I would experience differently. But everything happened for a reason, and it happened the way that it happened. But people like Michael Jackson, people like Gary Coleman, people like Emmanuel Lewis, people like any of these childhood stars, like the Olsen twins or whatever. What they did have, Brandy, Ray J, what they did have was the access to be able to navigate their adulthood in the ways that they wanted to. Speaking of Brandy, her mom really tried to keep her a child for as long as possible. Brandy wasn't having it. You like, oh yeah, kid, childhood, schmildhood. I'm gonna go get with Wanye. So it is what it is. And then she went on Kobe Bryant's prom, right? Yeah, he took Brandy on the prom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Can
I tell you, I think if Michael didn't have the fame, can you imagine Michael working in McDonald's or working as a receptionist? It wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't. No. Even though some of the voice was fake, he had a bit more bass. I don't think so. I think wealth can give you somewhat of an extension of life, but you still, if you're an effed up person, it's going to usually come crumbling down. Of all the people I know when I was a child, the knuckleheads are still knuckleheads, whether they're lawyers or street dudes, right?
Yeah.
And the nice people that are, cool, see them? There's only one person that broke that rule that I know of. He used to do drugs in school, and he was like the school bad guy. Mm-hmm. He ended up becoming a cop. Now, I don't know if so I guess if you could say that's a good thing. I don't know.
Not a surprise to me.
More discipline.
Not a surprise.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But it's funny. I think Michael Jackson may have joined a gang had he not been in show business, because he always wanted to be bad. Think about it. He wanted to be bad. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. It's hard to say what somebody could have become, but we can say what he could have done based on what we know his potential to be. But the only reason we know about his potential is because show business afforded him a chance for the world to see what he could do. So, so that's why I'm not quick to rush to the defense of people who say that he didn't have a childhood. I'm like, that man grew being raised in show business. It shows you so much of the good life and the bad life mixed right in there with each other, sort of just like real life, but it just gives you an underworld grooming that you wouldn't get in any other industry. It's very cutthroat. But he made the best of it.
They do miss some stuff.
Yeah.
They do miss. For instance, vocal classes, dance classes. Mm-hmm. So they're the positives, and they're being pushed. Look at the young girls that go in modeling shows, and their whole life is, what types of heels? How's my hair? Playing with the children in the park and all that. often aren't as much of a priority, especially since many of the parents are mom managers and dad managers. And so children grow up in celebrity circles, often the few that I talk to, who are like, damn, I may have succeeded a bit in A, but damn, I wish I could have just hung out more and been a child. It's almost like kids that are very good at mathematics or technology because the parents push them, like in Asian society, but the kids miss out on something and they grow up with a little bit of, if not resentment, feeling like, it would have been nice. I feel you let kids be kids. That's my thinking. Don't push them too hard unless they're doing something negative. That's how I do with my kids. Usually, unless they slacken off too long.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, but once again, there are children who drop out of school. There's children who never really learn anything in school, and that's not. There are people who their children, they're teenagers who never go on their proms or their class trips and things like that. They're always counter. There's always a counterculture to a regular culture. It's not like all of us get the same experience from our childhood as other people do, and the same goes with adulthood. Adulthood. We don't all get the same experience. Some of us have traveled the world. Some of us have never been out of our home state. It happens. Some of us are exposed to different cultures, and some of us only know people from around the way. So some of us are able to think outside of the box freely, and some of us are only able to think narrowly because of the environment that we've been exposed
exposure
to. Yeah. So it happens. It's just hard to say. But when we talk about taking away someone's adulthood, there's normally a group of people or a person that you can point to when we start talking about that. Like your mom or your aunt or your dad or your uncle or somebody just didn't want to see you grow up. They just didn't want to let go of you for some reason. You may have been all they had in some way. So they just tried to keep you there for as long as possible. It happens. So,
well, remember, there isn't much out there for many of our young people. It isn't, for instance, kids that are latchkey kids, etc. In many of our communities, between the police brutality, the street gang violence, and the schools that often don't do the best job at teaching about our history. So, for some parents, it becomes a thing of, well, how much is out there for you to do? You could be home, you could be in a park nearby, you could be on Zoom. And I kind of understand that mindset, which is actually a great reason why critical race theory should be taught. Because the more critical race theory is supported in the schools, the more Anglo and non-Black people comprehend what we have experienced over 400 plus years, and even in Africa, thousands of years before that, when Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. Then they would possibly, some of them, empathize more, and it may loosen up more job opportunities, more grant opportunities, less hostility from police officers, and then some of the parents that keep the kids home so much will feel more comfortable saying, hey, the world isn't such a bad place after all. So I think it's a cycle, systemic.
Many things in our lives are definitely systemic, especially in Black life. We were the system. We've been trapped in the system, and the system always has manipulated us to have to somehow buck the system in order to enjoy the things that should be given to us as our God-given rights. But you know how it goes. But listen, I got to get out of here. I appreciate you calling in.
Thanks,
I really
Michael.
do.
Good talking to you.
Oh, here you go. Get out of here. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Have a great one.
All right, Burpee.
All right. Good call. Good perspective. Appreciate it. Mucho. All right, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs and let's get on up out of here. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious January 22nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Desiree Sherry Smith, happy birthday to you. And also Jerry Henderson, happy birthday to you. And Carla Stocks, turning 50 years old today, happy birthday. And Callie Queen, girl, turning 32 years old today. And Cynthia Green, turning 45 years old today. And Heidi Diaz, turning 43 years old today. And Rhonda Jones, turning 52 years old today. And Letitia Reed, turning 46 years old today. And my girl, Sherry Thompson, West Philly's finest, turning 59 years old today. And Lonnie Webb, happy birthday to you, my brother. And also, my girl going all the way back to the 1982, Misty New Creation Fuller Powers. Her name is Misty Fuller. I want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious January 22nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, taking away your adulthood. Well, when somebody wants to recognize you as a, there are a lot of things that I may have missed on the show. Like how it may be a non-family member that really doesn't want you to grow up because they may only be attracted to you as a youth. Like some of these sugar daddies out here, aka pedophiles, sugar mamas out here, aka pedophiles. So, for some people, nothing over 25 is beautiful anymore. That's when the fall starts. Holla if you hear me. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, for some people who date, for some older people who date younger people, they do so because they need that youth. They need that youthful energy, that body shape, that style, that innocence, that lack of understanding and worldview. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that at another time on another show. But yeah, that can take away your adulthood too, because those very people may keep you from ever having to pay any bills or having to take care of any responsibilities. But as soon as you start to get older, now they want to kick you to the curb. Well, we're going to talk about it at another time. Right now, we got to get up out of here. That's my word. I want y'all to have a great day. No exceptions. Go out there and make it happen today. It's cold, but I mean, we got to do what we got to do. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace to Emily Dunlap in the house. I said Emily. I see you. And we see y'all tomorrow at 11 o'clock. All right. So peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. Blog Talk, let me get you on up out of here. And we say peace. And for my Instagrammers, your Fire Slammer Jammer, thanks for coming on through and let me exercise my grammar. Peace. And for my YouTubers,
thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace.